Órale, Cholo Trucker, los tres chingones boxing shots, all the chingones y chingonas, man. We are all back. As a matter of fact, let me put the banner up, man. Forgot to do that. There it is. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get the panel on. El Gran Chingon, El Mero Mero is back out there in Florida. Let's bring in the man, one, Mr. David Contreras.
Hey, Ed, what's going on? Hey, man, I apologize. I'm still sweating up a storm. I just finished getting a awesome workout. You know, after you work out, you got the sweats coming. I got them going right now, man, but I'm excited. Let's talk boxing.
Good to have you back, brother. Good to
Thank
have
you,
you
brother.
back,
Missed you
man.
guys.
Yeah. And of course, we got to have the scientist, the boxing scientist from Mikey TV, one, Mr. Mike Zavala.
What it is, Dave, what it is, Ed, back at it like Tyson Fury with a snack habit. Torta, vámonos. Let's go.
Hey, man, you know what? It's good to have the boys back. Now, to everybody watching, we're probably going to have a special guest tap in a few minutes, so we'll see if we're able to pull that off, man. But let's go ahead and let's get into some of the news while we wait for this guest to come on. It'll probably be about another 30 minutes or so, but let's go ahead and let's get into it, man. What's up to everybody in the chat? Dimitro, JC, El Pachuco, Tony. Shouts to everybody, man. Joaquin, shouts to the 505, Holmes.
What's up,
All
Joaquin?
right, man. Okay, so you know, there's definitely a big story going around. And let's just jump right into it. So there's, you know, this whole switch over fights with the MMA guys coming over to make some good feria and all that stuff. And you know, in this one, there was a lot of talks, and Mike, you and I talked about it, man. It's like, okay, are you excited for this fight? Do you have a problem with this fight? Me personally, I said this. I said, if he fights Usyk next, then I don't have a problem with it. If he does not fight Usyk next, then yes, I have a problem with it. This fight happened. He gets knocked down. He barely wins by, you know, a split decision. Some argue that he lost the fight. I'm not so sure about that, but some argue that he lost the fight. But Mikey, I'll start with you, Carnal. What did you see, and what is your thoughts, man?
Oh, man, I was totally wrong. I admit it. I was totally wrong. I thought Tyson Fury was going to walk through him. Ngannou, either the fight was fixed or Ngannou's that good. And I think he's that good, man. I think he's that good. Man, everybody has a game plan until you feel the power. And Tyson Fury felt the power. And when you feel the power and get dropped, he didn't have as much confidence. And he was second guessing himself. And when you see the fight, he wasn't really going all out because he was getting countered with Ngannou's power. And that's how he got hit on top of the head. I still give it to Tyson Fury in the last rounds. Tyson Fury won the fight, but they both didn't really exchange. But Ngannou landed the most effective punches. But like we always talk about, Ed and Dave, each round is like a fight. And if you really add it up, yes, he got dropped, Tyson Fury. But if you add them up, I edged it out for Tyson Fury. But Ngannou, man, you throw him in the mix with the other heavyweights in boxing. He's a real deal Holyfield, and he belongs in the sport, man. My respects to him, but I give it to Tyson Fury by a hair, a pubic hair to be exact.
Hey, shout out the G Unit twins, man. It's Toro. Toro's in there. What's up, Toro?
What is Toro?
I think if my math is correct, I think he's 13 years old, maybe 14. I went to his house. We were training in the backyard while it was time for me to get ready for the fight that I had with Gunner. So shout out to Toro and the G Unit twins, man. They're still out there doing it up. David, did you watch this fight, or what's your thoughts about this overall with Tyson Fury just barely coming out with a victory against a guy who's never boxed before? Combat, yes, you know, he's an MMA guy, but he's never boxed before, and he knocked down Tyson Fury.
You know what? I had Tyson Fury winning 6-4 by 1 round. and he was lucky. And when Mikey said by a hair, it definitely wasn't my hair, and Mikey, it definitely wasn't your hair. You know what I mean? It definitely wasn't your hair, brother. It was Cholo's hair. You know what I mean?
Okay.
He won by a hair. You know what I learned after watching this fight is that this kid, I mean, when they were telling his story growing up in the mines in the fields of Uganda, Africa, wherever he grew up, I mean, this kid grew up fighting. And at the 18, 19 years old, he's in London working as a janitor somewhere. All of a sudden, he starts training for MMA. This guy is strong. This guy is a quick learner. He had Mike Tyson at his in his corner. And you know what? You know, Cholo. I mean, I never boxed professionally. I never boxed amateur. And I don't know about you, Mike, if you ever did. But you put me in the ring with somebody, I'll hold my own. You know what I mean? And we saw you hold your own, Cholo. And you never boxed professionally or maybe amateur. I don't think so. But you know what? You either got it or you don't, brother. And you know what? This man right here, he proved that, you know what? You don't have to be an amateur fighter. You don't have to have 20 and 0 or 20 and 12 to be a professional fighter. This guy grew up fighting. And you know what? The only difference was is that he fought somebody that wasn't probably prepared 100%. But you know what? He gave him a good fight. I want to see him now become a full heavyweight and start fighting the other fighters. He might lose, but you know what? This guy is strong. This guy had a good camp, and he has good trainers. And you know what? He could learn. You're never too old to learn. And you know what? He definitely learned because he gave Fury a great fight. He's tough.
Yeah,
He's strong.
yeah. He's a big, strong guy, man, and he's used to fighting. I've been hearing people say that, hey, Wilder was never really that good. I would say the heavyweight division isn't really that good. But out of everybody in the heavyweight division, I still think Fury is a good fighter. Here's the thing about Tyson Fury, in my opinion. Okay, he never looks in shape, but in this fight, he even looked in worse shape. I don't think he trained for this at all. Um, I'm not making an excuse for him, but I will say this. I will say this. If there is a rematch, which I believe there's going to be, okay,
Really?
I believe there's going to be some sort of rematch.
Oh, I hope not. I hope
We'll
not.
get to that in a few.
Yeah.
But I, I'll say this: if there is a rematch, I think Fury. I'm not gonna say knocks him out, but I think Fury wins hands down. There's not gonna be any any like, oh man, it's a close fight. Like, no, no, I think Fury actually trains good for this fight and takes care of them. Now, the whole thing about this was that Fury is supposed to fight Usyk, or was supposed to fight Usyk in December. Now that's not gonna happen. Is he still gonna fight Usyk? Maybe
Yeah.
so, but it looks like now it might be getting pushed to February. So now here's the thing when it comes to Usyk. I do think he is a good heavyweight boxer for this era. Okay. I'm not talking about, of all time, for this era. Man, but this fool's a clown. Man, this guy is a clown. Does he bring in, does he sell? Yeah, he sells. And I think he can, hang with pretty much the best of them in the heavyweight division right now. And I still do think he beats Usyk. I do, but I want to see that fight happen.
Hey,
I
Cholo,
just
what
Yes,
if
sir.
this Nagano, if I screw up
Yeah.
his name,
Engano.
Ingano, what if he fights Torres? The guy, I mean, have him start from the bottom up. Have him fight Torres. Have him fight Baby, and have
Mm.
him work his way up. You know what I mean? I mean, that's where we're gonna see if he's a boxer or not. I mean, Torres, Olympic champion. You know, actually, he wasn't a champion. I think he got the silver. But have him fight those guys and start seeing. That's where we're gonna see if it was, luck, which I don't think so. This guy's a fighter. You know what I mean? And keep Mike Tyson in his corner and let him work his way up. What do you think about that? Have him
See,
fight him and then go up to Baby Nelson after Torres.
somebody like Richard Torres Jr.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
really like him because that guy actually looks like a really good heavyweight. Not somewhat of a good fighter.
Mm.
No, he really looks like a really good heavyweight. He's just really green. I think he puts it to Ngannou, man.
I
I
would
do.
love to see that. I would love to see that. If they're watching the show, please make that fight happen. Make that fight. I would love to. And then after that, Baby Nelson, and then work his way up to all the other heavyweight bums.
Yeah, look, he's
You know?
he's got a great amateur pedigree, man. Richard
Yeah.
Torres Jr. I think Richard Torres, man, can become a great heavyweight because I don't see a lot of foolishness with him, and he's actually in shape and he actually does fight. So,
Yes.
but Tyson Fury, I think, is a clown. I can't wait for him to just leave. Um, there's really,
Boxing.
honestly, look, outside of the Usyk fight, and by the way, let me go ahead and say this. If he never fights Usyk, it sucks. But for one reason or another, and this is just me, for one reason or another, I'd rather watch Deontay versus AJ. I don't know why. I couldn't tell anybody why, but I'd rather watch Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder. Um, the only reason I would want to see Usyk and Fury is just for the championships. But if Fury tosses the title and says, I'm retiring, cool. So be it. The guy's a
Ed,
clown.
he's done that before. He's done that
Yes,
before, and they didn't take
yes.
him serious. I hope if he does, that they take him serious and take that title away and give it to somebody so Usyk could unite it or break, whatever. But I hope if he does announce it, that they take him seriously and take it away from him.
Well, look, now, okay, Mikey, so let me ask you. Now he's not going to fight Usyk in December. Now, apparently, it's getting pushed back in February, and I'm not even really sure we ever see that fight happen. What's your thoughts on that, Mikey?
I mean, man, how much did he make this fight? He made 50 million.
How much he
I
made?
believe, right? He made 50 million
Oh,
in Saudi Arabia or wherever they fought in the Middle East somewhere. Um,
Mhm.
maybe he won't fight Usyk. He'll get the fight number 2 versus Ngannou. That's another 50 mil. This guy's laughing all the way to the bank. You like him or not, Ed or Dave? He's making 50 million per fight.
he's
I
a
think he'd
Floyd
rather fight,
Mayweather. Yeah,
huh? He's
he's
like
a Floyd
Mayweather, man.
Mayweather, just
Yeah,
stealing the
yeah.
money.
It's a
Yeah,
cash grab, man, and I don't
yeah.
blame him. I would have done it. I mean, 50 mil, he's gonna make 100 mil in 2 fights versus Usyk. How much are they gonna give him? So man, I mean, Tyson Fury doesn't evade, does he? I think he'll fight Usyk, but I think right now I heard that he's injured, quote unquote. So I don't know, man. I don't know, but I need to see that fight because I still believe in Tyson Fury just because he didn't look so well. Hey, win now and look pretty later. That's the saying in boxing. So we'll see what happens. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I don't think he trained for this fight. I really don't think he trained for this fight. David, Usyk versus Fury. Does it happen? It was supposed to happen in December. That's why when this fight with him and Ngannou was happening, people were like starting to throw their hats like, "Oh, come on, why you fighting this guy?" But it was set. It was like, "No, but you don't understand. I'm fighting Usyk in December." Now it's not happening. Now it looks like it's getting pushed to February. But do we ever get it, David? And is that fight important to you?
You know what? I think we are going to see it, Ed, in February or January, whatever the dates they have now. I think we're all going to see it, and it is important because I want to see the heavyweight division belts united. And believe it or not, after this showing, I have Usyk. I have Usyk outboxing him. You know what I mean? This guy basically showed. I mean, when Usyk grabs you, uppercut. That's all this guy was doing. Grab me, uppercut, uppercut. And you know what? I have Usyk winning that fight. Whether
But
Fury
gentlemen,
trains or not, I see him winning. But I want to see it.
gentlemen,
Yes, I do.
and gentlemen, let's not have short-term memory. Let's not
No,
forget Usyk's last performance wasn't up to par. He got dropped. He
he
got
did
dropped.
with a
So,
body
and we're
shot.
talking
With a
about
body
Tyson
shot.
Fury not looking good or he's a
Yes.
bum. Usyk got
Yeah.
dropped by a nobody. And so, how come we're not
Yeah.
chastising him his performance?
Yeah.
We tend to
Oh, we
forget that.
did.
You know what I'm
Mikey,
saying?
we did. Mikey, when we were watching the week after the fight, we chastised him. And as a matter of fact,
Okay.
after that fight, I actually said, you know what? I got Fury by a body shot. But after seeing this performance, I'm not basing on this performance. Usyk's fast. There's a reason why he won all the belts. I know at cruiserweight, but now at heavyweight, you know what? Yeah, if he still gets hit with a body shot, he's done. And you know what? Believe it or not, I'm with you. Usyk lost the last fight. That was
So
not
they
a
both
low blow. That was
look
a
bad in
body
their
shot.
performance.
Yes, they both did.
So
Yes,
I still
yes, you're
believe in
right.
Tyson Fury though. Don't count him out yet.
Okay, Mikey. Let me just play devil's advocate. I agree with you to a certain extent, but let me play devil's advocate. The difference is Usyk was fighting a boxer.
He was
Fury,
fighting a who?
he
A
was
boxer.
fighting
Okay.
a boxer.
Yeah.
Fury
Uh huh.
wasn't. Fury was fighting a fighter, but not a boxer. He was fighting a novice.
I mean, this guy's he has a kickboxing background, and this is Ngannou, man. This is the the elite of UFC. This is every 20 years a child is born that out could perform. This is he's one of them. He's God's gift. He's the chosen one to reign in the heavyweight division. This isn't no slouch. This isn't a guy that knocks out that drops Usyk that we never heard of. This is Ngannou. This is
You're
Ngannou
right.
with that walked through everybody in the UFC, and
You're
he's
right.
showing it in boxing. I saw some great skills. He moved southpaw, good footwork, jab, bodies. He did great, man. I hope this
Mhm.
fight isn't fixed because they did a hell of a job. So to answer your question, Ed, yes, but hey, man, like Dave said, sometimes you're born with it, man. Sometimes you're born with it.
He's born with it. He's a prodigy. He's a prodigy.
Yeah. So
Yes.
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Shout outs to our boy G Funky Boxing Man. He says Fury still beats Usyk. I agree. I still think beats Usyk, man. But well, we'll see what happens. I just look. I'm just tired of Fury. That's it, man.
Yeah, me too.
I'm
Me
just
too.
Basically,
I'm
you don't like
tired
him,
of
man.
him, man.
I'm
I
trying
look.
to.
I give him
He's
the
a clown.
props. I give
Yeah.
him the props. I don't think okay, he did what he did to Deontay Wilder. I still don't think Anthony Joshua beats him, but hey, if that fight happens, that's it. Let's see it, right? I think he beats Usyk, but hey, let's see it happen. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to discredit Fury from who I think he can beat or not beat. He's a clown though, man. It's like, dog, come on, man.
He's an embarrassment to boxing. He's an embarrassment to boxing.
He gave the
So
game a black eye. He gave the game a black eye, man. No UFC guys should come and drop and defeat, in some people's eyes, a lot of people's eyes, defeat the champion, boxing champion, heavyweight of the world. How can you do this? Now he's giving hope to any UFC fighter to come and go against Canelo, go against the elite
yeah,
in boxing.
It's
which
different,
is what
Mikey.
okay,
Oh
is exactly
It's
what I was
different.
gonna point out.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't get it confused when you
No.
have a clown for a heavyweight who is a
Yeah.
good boxer in today's heavyweight standards. In today's heavyweight standard, if you want to go back in the day, that's different. But in today's heavyweight standards, yes, he is a good boxer. But don't get it confused. Do not think you could come in at 168 pounds or 154 or 147 as a UFC guy or MMA guy and think you could mix up with one of the best dudes there.
mhm.
Don't get that twisted. All right. Just know that the heavyweight champion in that particular moment is just a straight fool. So, but no, do I think an MMA guy can now go fight Canelo in his first boxing match and he could drop Canelo or
No.
get a split decision? Absolutely not, dog. He will get his head twisted around, homie. He'd be standing this way, looking that way. So, not at all, man. But
Oh yeah.
brother, something else happened over the weekend. There's some controversy going on. Our buddies, man, on Putazos y Pendejadas, they're going back and forth. Shouts to my boy Mark and David. Man, Mark is very highly upset, man, when it comes to what was going on down in Cancun, Mexico. Usually people go down there to party and have a good time and see all the eye candy. But man, there were some chingazos being thrown in Cancun, Mexico, Holmes. And I loved it. And that 11th round, what a moment in boxing. So Oshaki Foster versus Rocky Hernandez. I'll start with you, David. Man, what did you see in this fight? I mean, this was something else.
Dude, it was Meldrick Taylor against Chavez, part two. You know what I mean? But Rocky was Meldrick Taylor and Foster was Chavez. You know, it went to the last rounds, to the last second, and the better man won, man. You know what I mean? I had Rocky winning highly, pero sabes que? I mean, it goes to the last round, brother. Hey, what's going on, Pomona Soul Sounds? It goes to the last round, and you know what? The better man won, man. I'd like to see a rematch, though. I don't think Foster's going to take it, but I like to see a rematch. But the better man won, brother. Nobody cheated. He went down.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. We're in the group Texas with our
Yeah, I saw those guys, man.
yeah,
They're
with
out
our
of control,
fellas, man.
man.
Mark is something else, man. You gotta calm
Yeah,
that up and down.
he's taking it too personal. You know what I mean? When I'm reading that, I was thinking, you know what? Probably a couple of black guys when Meldrick Traylor and Chavez fought, they were probably doing the same thing. You know what I mean? They were pissed off, but now it's a Chicano, so the Chicanos are pissed off. But it is what it is, man. You know?
Yeah, yeah, man.
Yeah.
You guys
But
go
I
check
had him
out
winning.
our
I had Rocky winning without a
yeah,
doubt, man. Yeah, and
you
he
guys
would have
go
won.
check out
Could have just taken a knee.
yeah, yeah. You guys
Yeah,
go check out our camaradas on
good
Putazos
dudes,
y
man.
Pendejadas,
Yeah.
man. Yeah. Mikey, brother, man, dog. I mean, this fight was something else. Big dog, talk to us, Holmes.
Hey, Ed, I told you last week. I called it. I said I like Shaki Foster. I like he's a switch hitter. He fought southpaw. When he fought Vargas, he was fighting regular right hand. And then I saw a couple of his highlights, and I'm like, hey, this guy's pretty good, man. He reminds me a little bit of Terrence Crawford, a little bit. Of course, he's not Terrence Crawford, but he has that style. He'll chop you down, walk you down. He can box, and he's a switch hitter. And Rocky has power, and he was just a banger. He's a banger. But I've seen holes in his game. He opens up too much. He exposes his chin, and and, and he was winning the fight. I was surprised. I'm like, man, but I knew sooner or later. I like, let's see what happens if he gets caught. He showed a great chin, but he got caught right in the button with a money shot, and that's how boxing is, man. That's all she wrote, and he lost in the 12th round. What a fight! The 11th round or 12th round? It was the 11th round of the year. Wow, what a round! The fight was a little technical. It was sometimes a little boring if you're a regular fan, but to us, say like, oh, we're just watching. Who's imposing their style. What a fight, man! This fight went under the radar. It went under the radar for me until Ed, you told me about it. So uh, I'm glad I watched it and I called the knockout. You know what I mean? Mikey Thomas. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah.
Let's see. Pacheco says Foster ran the first 6 rounds. How is that
Yeah.
worthy champion? Okay. I think that's a fair point. Definitely I had Foster losing the fight. I did. I had Foster losing the fight until the end there when Rocky really got hurt and he started taking these knees and started going down. Um, if the fight wasn't going to be stopped, even man, I'm not even so sure. I forgot how many times he went down. If anybody could let me know how many times Rocky went down, was it three
Why?
times?
Yeah, I'm not sure. 2 to 3, no, something like that.
Yeah, I'm not really sure, and I'm not counting the time that the referee waved it off. But even with those knockdowns, I think Rocky had banked in enough rounds, even with the knockdowns, to still come off with the victory. I was finding it pretty difficult to give Foster a round. Now, I don't want to say that he was getting dominated. In some rounds he kind of was, but not like, oh man, you know what? Rocky tore him up in this round. No, there was some good back and forths, but it was pretty easy for me to see who was winning the rounds. Even though Foster did have some good moments, he would have put out some good exchanges and land some pretty good punches. And I'm like, okay, he's in the fight, but he didn't win the round though. Oh, okay. He had a good moment, good exchanges, landed some good punches. Cool. Firme. He's in this fight, but he didn't win this round. It was like that for me. So good rounds, but he wasn't winning them. So once we got towards the end and the fight was stopped in the 12th, I believe there was about 40 seconds left. Now, Here's the thing, for me, and shout outs to Rocky, man, because we always want a warrior, right, to be in there. And how the team was saying, like, hey, just run around and hold. Just run around and hold, man. You got nothing to prove. You beat him. You beat him for 11 rounds. Does that mean that he got every single round all the way up, leading to 12? No, it doesn't. But you pretty much won the fight. You could just kind of take your foot off the gas in this 12th round, which can be a mistake because we've seen that backfire on fighters before too. And he chose not to. He chose to go in there and fight, which is what boxing fans like to see. And he got caught. The stoppage. Okay, Mikey, are you upset with the stoppage? It's the 12th round. He's gone
Mhm.
down. You see, he's hurt. There's 40 seconds left. Do you let it go so he can finish it off, or do you wave it off? Now, the referees are like, look, it doesn't matter if it's 1 second left or if it's all 3 minutes left. I got to protect the fighter. And I do understand that. I completely understand that. However, I am looking at the round. I am looking at the time. 40 seconds is still a lot of time. So I don't want to make it seem like the bell was about to ring. 40 seconds is still a lot of time. Had there been 10 seconds that as soon as I was gonna call that and I heard the clap, I'll be honest, I probably would let it go, man, just so he could finish the fight. But Mikey, what do you make of the stoppage, man?
Yeah, when I seen that we're watching the fight from the outside with a great lens with the camera. We're like front row seats. I mean, we're watching it, and yeah, I think it was a little bit. He's still like alive because when he stopped it, uh, uh, the Mexican fighter Hernandez was contesting the stop. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" But he did get dropped twice, and once boxing, man, one shot could end it all. You can die, man, with one shot. And maybe the ref saw when he got dropped twice, he was really hurt because he was really hurt, man. It just his heart and the Mexican bravado, that Mexican the big balls he had. He was still coming and coming, but if you watch the 12th round, he was hurt. But he did hurt Foster too. So man, it was just in split moments. Could have, should have, would have. It's easy for us or for me to say. I wouldn't stop it, but the ref is inside and it's split second decision. And the refs are there to for the fighter's safety. I don't think they keep track of the time, and they know what they're doing. So from the outside looking in, he should let it go. But I'm not gonna pass judgment to the ref. I think he did a great job.
Okay. David, what's your thoughts of the fight being stopped in the last round, under a minute to go, which doesn't I know if you're, to non-boxing fans or just if you're not in the ring, under a minute sounds like, that's just a few seconds. No, 40 seconds can be a long time, man. But what's your thoughts, David?
You know what? I'm 100% on the referee. We can Monday morning quarterback and we could say he should have or not. You know what had happened? I believe it was a good stoppage, and Rocky was hurt without a doubt. And right now, G Funky just said that Foster isn't famous in the United States, and I agree with you. After this fight, Foster's record just went up, man. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of fans not going to be watching this next fight. And I like him. He's a good fighter. I'd like to see this part two. That would be great. If not, let's have Foster fight the other 130-pound champions. But I think it was a good stop, without a doubt. Yes,
Okay. I
we
think
can't go back in time. I mean, I think it's a good
no,
stop.
you're
Yeah,
right. Yeah, I didn't have a problem with the stoppage. They were both running out of gas, but Rocky just seemed like he just had no gas anymore.
he was hurt.
Yeah, and he was
Yeah.
definitely hurt.
Mhm.
Um, Foster. Okay, yeah, not a lot of people really know who he is. Do people know him now?
I don't think
Maybe to a certain extent, but being known doesn't really mean that you have fans because I think people are knowing him a little bit more now and actually liking Rocky and not liking Foster. Because it's like, hey man, you were the champion and you pretty much lost this fight, but you just happened to catch him, and I'm not sure if he actually got fans after it. But look, I'm not going to take it away from Foster, man. I would say the guy's a warrior too. Okay, I get it. People
Yeah,
could
he
say like,
is.
"Hey, man, yeah." I understand people are saying like, "Oh, he ran around." Yeah, in a certain way he did, but he stood there, he exchanged, he fought, man. Look, Rocky brings a lot of pressure. He brings a lot of pressure, man. So I'm not gonna just put it on Oshaki Foster where it's like, oh man, you need to just stand there and go toe to toe with them. Like, nah, Charlie dog, if those punches are really hurting you, then you gotta come up with another plan. It wasn't working because he was losing those rounds. But I'll give it to Foster, man. The guy, he took it, man. And I'll give it to him. He stuck in there and he found a way to win the fight, and he won the fight. So Mikey, what do you want to see from Oshaki Foster next, man, at 130 pounds?
Yeah, man, he has skills, man. Like I said, uh, what's my boy Navarrete? There's a couple champions there at
Oh
130.
yeah.
But I like Navarrete and Oshaki, man. That's a good matchup. I think Navarrete will take him though, man. Navarrete has pressure. Plus, he's got boxing ability, man, and he's long. Uh, uh, yeah, that's a good fight right there.
Okay. Okay. David?
Yes, just like I said before, man, it's time for him to start trying to unite the belts. Navarrete, that'd be the first one. Start with him and then work the other two belts.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll tell you guys this, man. I don't think Foster beats somebody like Navarrete. I don't. I don't really see him as a elite. He's a champion for sure.
He
I
beat
just
Vargas, Ed. He beat Vargas.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. Okay, okay, Mikey. So was it just this performance, or is it that Rocky's that damn good?
Uh,
I think Rocky's
wh-
good. I think it's both.
I mean, Rocky, you can't look pretty versus a guy that just keeps throwing and keeps coming forward. You
Yeah.
keep throwing and throwing, and you know what? Rocky was gonna win the fight, but unfortunately, that's not how boxing works. You could win 11 rounds and get knocked out, and you lose the fight. And Foster showed a great chin. He got hit with some solid shots. He got hurt, and he got the knockout. Man, that was beautiful. That gives you a lot of experience. Not this fight, he didn't win all the rounds, and it was kind of boring, but he gained a lot of experience and a lot of momentum's coming after this fight. Like Chingazos and Putazos said it, and I'm going to quote momentum. Momentum is key for a fighter, and he's got the momentum. He's coming off of two great W's, and he's a champion. He has the experience. He beat Vargas, a great fighter, and he beat Rocky, a guy that makes you look ugly, losing the fight, came back and sealed the deal with a crazy knockout. Momentum. Momentum.
Hey Ed, the other champions, WA champion is Hector Garcia. I'd like to see that one. And the WBC is him, Foster. IBE is
IBF.
Joe Cordina, and the WBO, Emmanuel Navarrete. So you know what? Joe Cordina, Hector Garcia, and then if he beats those guys, then have him fight Navarrete.
Yeah.
They'll be
I
good
mean,
fights.
look, Cordina's fighting tomorrow. He's fighting tomorrow across the pond, man. So we'll see what happens with that. I know not too many people on this side of the world really are putting too much stock in that, but I'm gonna be checking it. I think like it's in a tourist spot. Somebody help me out. I think it's like in Monte Carlo or something like that. Morocco. It's
Okay,
so
yeah, I think Morocco. I heard if he's on the undercard, I think it's Morocco. There's a fight in Morocco. I think I read this Saturday coming up.
Yeah, Monte
yeah.
Carlo. Monte
Monte
Carlo.
Carlo? Okay, Monte
He's
Carlo.
fighting Edward Vasquez.
Yeah. Let me see if
Yeah.
I can pull it up here. Yeah, Monte Carlo.
Joe Cordina versus Edward Vasquez, 12
Yeah,
rounds
against
for
Edward
Cordina's
Vasquez.
IBF
Yeah.
title.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So I'll be checking that out, man. I think Cordina is a formidable champion. But listen, gentlemen, there's a lot of news in boxing going on, and we will get to it in the weeks to come and in this week coming forward as well. And we might even touch a little bit on it right now. But we do have a special guest coming
Oh, he's
on.
done.
He is
Cool.
coming on. This is an up and coming fighter. He has experience. He has sparred with David Benavides. let's go ahead and bring on. He got his name right here as Rally Rao, man. I like that.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead. Let's bring the homeboy in from the 619, Rally Rao.
Hey,
What's
Raul,
going
what's
on,
going
fellas?
on,
What's
man?
going on?
How you
My
doing,
bad. You know, California traffic. Nobody knows how to drive after 5 o'clock.
man?
Oh yeah.
Hey, hey, big dog. So go ahead and introduce to yourself to everybody who's watching right now.
All right. So what's going on, everybody? My name is Raul Zaraga. A lot of you might know me as Rally Rao. I grew up in San Diego, California, out of the North Park area, neighborhood. I got so I grew up with my dad. Mostly started boxing when I was about 6 or 7, but taking it serious when I was 15. But by the time I was 15, I was 245 pounds. And now, you know me, I'm back at it. I'm Swifty, and I got 2 daughters, Analia and Naomi. My oldest turns 3 tomorrow, and my youngest, but she just turned 1 in not 2 1. She turned 1 in July, and then I have my lady Marlon right here who holds it down when I'm training. So, and that's pretty much it. That's the background. That's all you guys need to know about me. That's the four. That's the 10-4 right there.
That's the most important part of your life, your family, right? That's the most
Yep.
important part of your life. Yeah.
All right, man. And you are 11-0 at the moment. Is that right?
11-0 at the moment. You guys know I'm training my ass off to be 12-0. So
Hey,
I'm not a slacker. I don't half-ass anything.
yeah, and you got an important fight coming up November 18th, I believe it is, in Lake Elsinore, man. Tell us a little bit about your opponent.
I don't really know a lot about my opponent. All I know is that I know he's not. I know he's not a chump. Everyone's like, "Oh, well, he lost." A loss don't mean nothing, dude. Like, he's 14-2. Hey, he's still a formidable opponent, dude. So I don't really know a lot about him, but much respect to him taking this fight. I'm not downgrading him. I'm not treating him like he's some bum or some dude I could just beat the shit out of. But I'm working my ass off because I train like I'm in a world title fight right now, and I have a WBC opportunity for this fight. So I'm not taking this light at all.
Hey, Raul, this fight, it's for the WBC US Championship, right? You're going to receive a belt after this knockout.
Yeah, so I'm fighting for I don't know what the official name for it. I'm sorry, but shout out to the WBC. I think it's the WBC US Silver Championship, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so the
after your
belt that
knockout,
I'm actually helping a guy. I was actually helping a guy out, Callum Walsh, who fights next Thursday for 360. He has the exact same belt I'm fighting for, but at 154.
wow.
Órale.
Okay. So this is going to basically leap you to future fights for the WBC belt since you already have, you'll get it as of on the 18th with a knockout. I'm predicting it
Yeah.
with the knockout. You'll have that belt. So it'll start leaping you to start fighting some world champions in the near future. Correct?
This is gonna lead my career forward. This is gonna start raising some eyebrows. I mean, there's some people right now that are like, hey, like this Rally Rock kid, he's pretty good. Because now I'm kind of known in the wild card area, the LA area, but I'm not a household name yet. Once I become a household name, that's when my name will start ringing bells.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
that's the goal right there.
That's how it
Yeah.
works, man. Who's your promotional company right now?
Actually,
Who are
I'm a
you
free
fighting
agent
for?
right now, but my next fight, I've actually had my last 2 fights with him, Ray, for Red Promotions. This is the
Okay.
next, but I'm not signed with him, but we're he does everything based on the terms we like, and he shows a lot of love. So yeah, Red Promotions. He's the one we're fighting with right now. But I'm not signed with anybody.
Red Promotion. I think I went to one of their events. Wasn't that
You
the
went to
event I
his
went to?
fight. You went to his fight, Cholo,
Yes.
in
Yes.
Ontario
Yes.
with Red
Yes.
Promotions. Remember his last
Yes.
fight? You were there at his
That,
last fight. Yeah.
that
Oh, in
down.
February, you know my last fight in February.
Yeah,
Yes.
he was there. Yeah.
Yeah. It was earlier this
Yeah.
year. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
man.
okay, yeah.
So,
Hey,
okay, man.
Raul, there's a guy that I follow. His name is Adam Abrachowitz. He's a very good sports writer. I mean, this guy's nationally known when it comes to the boxing world writing. He just wrote about you. He actually
Oh yeah,
mentioned you on his Twitter account.
I did an interview with him. So I was
Really?
at when
Okay.
so yes, I'm sparring out when so I've been sparring at Wild Card my whole training camp. I've been sparring with Callum Walsh, and if you guys know Callum Walsh, he's not no punk, he's not no chump. He has that Irish blood in him, like The Departed, that Irish blood in him. So yeah, he's a good cat. So
Yeah.
so the fact that and they brought me into the camp. Freddie Roach, Freddie Roach knows who I am. They brought me into the camp because they know who I am, and I helped them out a lot. Like he helped me out, and I helped him out, and I got my name out there a little bit more. And some guy, I'm so sorry, I'm bad with names. The guy, but he goes by Wild Card King on Instagram. He was there watching the sparring, and then he reached out to me on Instagram. This is why I love social media. I don't got to give out my phone number or nothing. He reached out on Instagram, and then he told me that I'm so bad with names. Adam Abramovich.
Yes.
Yeah. He wants to do a piece on me for the Ring magazine. So, he called me. I gave him my number. He called me. We chopped it up for a good 20 minutes. I hope my name excels for the after this, because I'm not training to be a punk or a chump. I'm training my ass off. I want to be also a name like Canelo. People are not gonna know me as Rowdy Row. That's how you guys are gonna know me as.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, he really pushed you, and he said, "Hey, man, we're looking at a possible future world champion." And coming from a man with that experience, brother, you got another believer following you, man. That guy.
Hell yeah, that's what I love to hear. That's what I like to hear.
So, okay, Mikey, you got any questions, brother?
Ready, Raul. I'm gonna cut to the chase, brother. I know they say don't kiss and tell, but in boxing they say when you spar, don't spar and tell, right? But if you talk about Canelo, that you brought it up, versus David Benavidez, who do you see winning and why?
Let me be honest with you, Doug. That's a 50-50 fight for me, and I'm gonna explain it right now. I'm gonna give you the 10 to break it down.
My response that's down to 50-50, but yeah, go ahead, Roddy.
I grew up as a kid. Ever since I first heard of Canelo after he beat the hell out of James Kirkland.
Oh yeah.
I think I was in the 8th grade. I was 13 years old. That was when I first heard of Canelo, and that's when I became a fan. Everyone's gonna say, "Oh, I was a fan after he fought this for that." Man, no, you were not, dude. Stop. You became a fan after he fought Triple G. I remember when he fought Amir Khan, when he fought Chavez, Liam Smith, the first Triple G fight, and I just remember all that. And I grew up a big Canelo fan. And then growing up, and then you get older, and then as a 245-pound fat kid, you hear about this cat David Benavidez, who just became the youngest super middleweight WBC champion ever at 20 years old and 265 days. He beat Mike Tyson's record. I know he's not the youngest champion ever, but that's badass. And knowing that he started his career at 15 years old, and he used to at 13 years old, he used to be almost 300 pounds.
Yeah.
That's a little simple. That hit home a little bit. So, and then forward down the road, I ended up becoming David Benavidez's sparring partner for when he fought Tyrone Davis and David Lemieux. Mm-hmm. That's where my defense seasoned up a lot. My game seasoned up a lot. That's why I got really fresh and introduced into this. But I've never met Canelo, even though I've been to his gym a couple of times. I met Eddie Reynoso. They're very good guys. I got love and respect for both of them. But as a boxing fan, as a boxer, I understand. Whoever wants it the most, whoever trains the hardest, will come out victorious. And I have no idea who's going to train the hardest or who's going to train the most, because I've seen how Canelo trains and I've seen how David Benavidez trains.
And Benavidez is the gym rat for sure.
Benavidez is the gym rat, and so is Canelo. A lot of people want to sit there and say, "Oh, Eddie Reynoso's gone all the time. Canelo hasn't looked good at most of his fights." I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never met Canelo, so I'm not saying from my perspective, But every time I see him fight, I know it's because he trains hard. A lot of these guys might not be serious, and any might not take him seriously. But I know he takes Canelo serious. He's been with us since he was a kid, so he always puts his time and every effort into him.
Okay.
And David Benavidez, man, he's a cold cat, dude. He's a cold cat.
Hey.
He's fast. He's real fast.
Oh man, the thing about when you're sparring him, when he does that, you have to keep your eyes like this. Because if you keep it like this, it's gonna close. It's a weird science. If you don't keep your eyes like this, like very open, if you keep it normal, your eyes will tend to blink longer, like this when he's doing it. So if you keep it like this, your eyes want to go up automatically. So when you keep it up automatically, you can see the punches, and and the thing about David Benavidez, it just doesn't stop coming. And I know when he does it, he wants to land that big shot. You don't know when it's going to come. So the thing about I learned from David Benavidez, clench your jaw. Always be prepared for that hard punch. And as soon as he's done, you come back with it too.
Okay.
Because I would try that, and then he would come back with a shot. And when I came back with a shot, I knew he respected me. But the thing about David Benavidez, dude, David Benavidez he's badass. He's always going to do.
And just real quick, Raleigh, I don't want to take all the time. And that's the difference between. That's what I see in the Canelo fight. Canelo's a natural counter puncher, and you just said it, Raleigh. What you need to do is you need to focus on the shot, and you have to come back, counter him. And what you're saying, well, you didn't say it, but you did say it. You got to counter David Benavidez, and Canelo is a counter puncher. But you don't kiss and tell, and you don't spar and tell. But you know what? I read between the lines. That's all I had. That's all I had to hear. That's all I had to hear.
Hey, Raul, I have a question for you. Tell me about Pacheco. Did you ever train with Pacheco?
Yeah, I was Diego Pacheco's sparring partner while I was in the camp with Dave Benavidez.
How was he?
Okay.
Dude, Diego Pacheco's good. A lot of these dudes, they don't. I got respect for him, dude. Because Diego Pacheco, when we sparred, he's one of those guys where if he knows you suck, he'll just beat your ass. But I think he knew like I wasn't like no punk because I knew he respected me, but he still wanted to get respect back. So when we were sparring, it was kind of slow at first, but then we started working more and more, and then we started gaining each other's respect, and that's how we get better because you know which punch you which punch he wants to throw, and I know what punch he wants to throw, but we still throw it because we need to work that punch. We need to work this style, and when we were working together, man, Diego Pacheco, he's a cool cat, dude, in the ring and outside the ring.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, he looks like a promising up and coming fighter. Let's talk a little bit about you, man, and your amateur career. What does that look like? What is your record in the amateurs? How long were you in the amateurs before you went pro?
If I'm being honest, Doug, I didn't really have a lot of amateur fights, bro. I only had probably 15 or 14, and I had 5 of them. Or no, was it? Yeah, I had 5. I had 5 when I was like from 8 to 10. I took a 5-year layoff because I wanted to do travieso stuff, And then I came back when I was 15 at 245 pounds. I had to take a year to focus on dropping my weight down. And I dropped all the way down to 186. And I fought at 186 plus when I was 16. Oh, no, 176 plus. And then I dropped down to 178. And then, I didn't really have a big amateur career because, I was too big for my age. And a lot of cats are too big for me, but I still took those fights. But when people ask about my amateur career, I don't really talk about it much because there's not really a lot to talk about. I never really had a lot of accomplishments. SoCal State, silver and blue champion, and that's pretty much it.
Okay, all right. Does Freddie Roach still get in there with the mitts and do his thing the way we remember him doing it when he was training with Manny Pacquiao and all that stuff? Because he seems like he's he's really starting to break down.
No, dude, he's not breaking down at all. People think that he's like this, no. He's solid, dude. When he don't shake at all, he's solid, dude. He's a solid cat. He's a solid trainer. When I actually learned a lot from him. You know, you come in the gym, a lot of these trainers, they just want to keep it short and small with you. He'll chop it up with you. He'll give you a little seasoning, like just to help you out. He genuinely cares about you. Freddie Roach is just one of those people you got love for. He's a cool cat.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I'm a fan of Freddie Roach, man. How does one get to be the sparring partner of David Benavidez? How do they find you? How do you get that phone call? How do they reach out to you? Or do they ever tell you like, hey, this is why we chose you and this is how we found you?
They never told me exactly how they found me, but this is how I think they did. Because when I first started sparring with Dave Benavidez, he was supposed to spar that guy Uskadegi, or no, fight that guy Uskadegi, November 13th, right? Uskadegi.
Yeah.
The time he fought Kyron Davis, he was supposed to fight Uskadegi first. It was like November 14th, November 4th, but you guys know what I'm talking about, right? The fight before David Lemieux.
Uskadegi or something like that, yeah.
Yeah. And then he was the guy that Caleb Plant beat for the IBF championship.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was sparring Uskadegi from January to I think March 2021. And then Uskadegi fought. They never reached out again. And then out of nowhere, David Benavidez reached out to us for sparring because he was fighting Uskadegi. And then, well, at first I didn't know it was because of Uskadegi, but when we went over there, I saw the other guy that Uskadegi was fighting. It was sparring when I was there. So I'm like, oh, that's why they brought us in. And we sparred David Benavidez. I'm pretty sure we did good. I mean, I feel like we did good. I'm pretty sure we did good because they wanted us back. But the thing is, I guess when we were exchanging info with my coach, they put a number wrong or a digit wrong and then put the name wrong. And they forgot my name and they forgot my coach's name and number. So for about a month and a half, they're going around like, hey, this southpaw from – they didn't know. They forgot the name. They didn't even know it's from Temecula. They just kept saying San Diego. This southpaw from San Diego, this and that. And they're like, how many southpaws are in San Diego? That's not very specific.
Yeah.
And then finally some guy we know was like, there's only one southpaw I know that's from San Diego, and that's Raul. And they're like, does he fight at 168? And they were like, yeah. And they were like, show me a picture of him. And they show a picture of me, and it's literally a picture of me, Dave Benavidez, like this. And they're like, no, yeah, that's the guy we're looking for. So they brought me in, and we were sparring at Brick House. And I only sparred him like 4 times because he was towards the end of his camp. And then like 3 months later, January 2022, they called us up because he's fighting David Lemieux in May. And they need a southpaw who's a 160. And I'm all right. I come in, and then David starts throwing me. He starts throwing me pointers. He starts showing me respect. But then they start saying, "Hey, we need you to also spar Diego Pacheco." And that's when I really started blowing up and getting my name out there, because that's when the media was like, "Hey, who's this Raul kid that goes by Raleigh Raul?" At first, they were calling me Raleigh Raul or Raleigh Raul, and I had to correct them. And now they already know what to call me now. But yeah, that's how it all started, and that's how the come up was. That's when I really got my name out there, because people ask me about my fights in TJ. I mean, a lot of careers start in TJ, but I don't really like talk about my time in TJ because you know how it's looked down upon.
Okay,
I got a lot of love for the TJ fans. They have some good food out there, especially the churros at the border. Those are bomb.
Maybe the suits and ties might look down on it, man. But I think it's pretty well respected, man. Going down to Tijuana and getting some of those fights, man. It's rugged, it's rough around the edges down there. Hey, man, how are you making 168 pretty good? How long do you think you'll be at 168? Are you still?
You're fighting 160 though, right?
Yeah, I'm not fighting. I'm not 168 no more. I'm 160.
160.
Wow, so you've gone down. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, my career. I started reverse. I started 168 and then moved down to 160.
Nice.
But no, I make 160 pretty easily. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't have a lot of weight to cut, like 10 pounds or like 11 pounds max, 11 and a half. And don't get me wrong, it's hard making it's hard cutting weight. But the thing with the way we do it so good and scheduled that by Wednesday or Wednesday night, weight's already made, and Thursday I chill, and then Friday it's just all I gotta do is weigh in, and I'm good.
Nice, man. Nice. So you guys got a press conference coming up. I believe it's
November
what's the
10th.
date?
November 10th.
No, it's not a press conference. It's a media workout. We're gonna have it at my gym.
Oh,
You got if cause I know David, you're in Florida. I know you're in
Yes.
Florida, but if
Florida's
you
gonna
guys
be
can
there.
make it,
Yeah.
it's gonna be tight. You know, I'm gonna be faded and X-rated and all that, so I'm not gonna be looking nappy.
You're gonna have
Hey, man.
mariachis there, right? You're gonna have mariachis
We're gonna
there.
have mariachis there. We're gonna. I don't know if I'm gonna be on a horse this time, but last time I was scared when I was on that horse. I kept thinking I was gonna be thrown off like homeboy that plays Superman.
Yeah, that's the word, man. You're gonna have a mariachi. It's gonna be somewhat of a party. Look, Holmes, I'm gonna be there. I like your attitude. I like your enthusiasm. You're definitely gonna rub some people the wrong way. That's for sure, man. You're gonna be loved and you're gonna be hated. It all comes with the territory, man.
Yeah.
You seem like you're having a fun time, a good time doing all this. What is boxing to you? I mean, are you in this for the long term? Do you have a passion for boxing? Is it just like, hey, you know what? I'm good at it. Once I make a couple of feria here and there, man, I'd like to see my way out. Do you want to leave one heck of a legacy? What is it that you want to do in boxing?
As I said before, this is all I know. Boxing is all I've ever really known. I mean, you know, it took my lady coming into my life. It took me having kids to really see it, the bigger picture. But boxing is still my life. It's all I've ever known, bro. And I'm not trying to just make a couple of big fights, make some noise, and then make some fatty out here and there, because that all comes and goes, bro. But I'm trying to be. I don't know if you guys know this, but Roy Jones Jr. is my favorite fighter of all time. My favorite fighter of all time, and I'm trying to make noise like Roy Jones Jr. You know, I'm not. I want people. 20 years from now to be like, no, Rowdy Row. He was good. I want kids that are like 10 right now, but I grew up on Rowdy Row. I want to be like Rowdy Row. You know, these kids that have Edgars and all that. No, I want them to have the Rowdy Row fade.
The Edgars.
You know how people start
man.
throwing
Go back
around
to the day,
619 because of Rey Mysterio? I want them to start saying 619 because of Rowdy Row.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Damn, you know what, dog? I'll tell you, I could see your energy already, Holmes.
Yeah.
Like I said, man, some people are gonna hate you, some people are gonna love you. You're really gonna you know, wow some people up, man, which is good. It's a good thing, man. It's a good thing. It's when it's not a good thing is when people don't care about you, you know.
Yeah.
Care about you by them wanting to see you or them wanting to see you get your ass kicked. They either
Yep.
way, they're there to see you. So that's why I like, man. I'll definitely be there for the workout with the mariachi band and everything, man. I can't
Yeah.
wait can't wait to meet you in person. But David,
Yeah.
anything else, brother?
Yes, hey Raul. First of all, your fight's November 18th. They're in what is it? It's at a
Lake
stadium,
Elsinore.
right?
Yeah, so the San Diego Padres have a AAA ball team. It is the Lake Elsinore Storm.
Yeah.
I
Lake
didn't
Elsinore
know
Storm.
that. I didn't know that until I threw the pitch over there. I didn't know that. I'm like, oh, you guys are affiliated with the Padres? Oh, I'm home already.
You're there. That's right. And you know
Yeah.
what? I talked to your coach, to Jesse Moreno. He says all the VIP tables are already sold except number one. And he says at the stadium, hopefully it's already selling out. So if somebody wants to go at the event, you're going to have Raul Jibaro there, Aleida Cobra Reese, Paul Banky, Danny Little Red Lopez, Leo Santa Cruz, and many more world champions and trainers. They're going to be signing autographs for free. I mean, this is a big event for Southern California, and it's on November 18th. Guys, if
Yeah.
you're watching the show, please go to this fight. Tickets are, they're not expensive at all, and we're going to see you fight. One last question that I have for you. If a wish list, which promotional company would you like to work for?
You know,
Oh.
I'm not picky. I'm not gonna sit here and say, "Oh, I want to fight for this company." Hey, whoever shows the most love, whoever wants me, that's who I'll be loyal to. Because I'm not gonna sit here and just jump shit because they throw this money, they throw that money. 'Cause at the end of the day, if they believe in me and they really care for me, that's all I need. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, "Oh, I want to fight for ESPN or I want to fight for Showtime." I want to fight for them. If you believe in me and put 100% in me, I'll fight for you. I don't care.
Well, I'll tell you, brother, you have the personality of a champion. You have the skills of a champion. You're a left-handed fighter, 6 feet tall, 160. You're literally at the perfect weight class for world champions. Man, we wish you the best and prayers for you and your family. We wish you the best.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
Absolutely, man. Mikey, any last words, carnal?
Nah, brother, just stay focused. You know how boxing is, man. You could lose focus and then it's a wrap. So stay focused and hey, man, I'm gonna check you out. I'm gonna check your highlights out. And thank you for the insight. I wanted to hear about that Dave Benavidez camp and how do you see it? Thank you, man. Now I got a little bit.
Thank you guys.
After your knockout, come back on the show, okay?
Okay, I'll come back on the show. Tell me the link and the time, and I'll be there, guys.
All right, cool.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for your time.
Ali, I will meet you in person, not tomorrow, but the following Saturday.
Next week. No, it's next Friday, the 10th. So it's next Friday. So a week from today.
Okay, got you. Okay,
I
will be there, big dog. I will be there, man. Hey,
all right.
So much, man. Gracias so much for jumping on, and can't wait for your fights, big dog. We'll definitely be watching.
Thank you guys.
If you're ever in Tampa, give me a call. You're invited to a steak dinner at my house. If you're ever in Tampa.
All right. I'll go over there. Cook me some alligator or crocodile. What are they in Florida?
Yeah.
All right, man. Buenas noches. Gracias so much for jumping on, brother.
All right. Thank you, guys.
All right, man.
Man, this kid has some good energy, huh?
Shout outs to the 619, man. That kid's got personality, man. So definitely, man. Good luck with him and his career. Hopefully, we get to see some big things from him. But with that, Chingones, we're gonna wrap it up, man. Anything, David? Anything, Mikey, before we call it here?
Mikey TV, welcome back, Dave. Oh, go ahead, Dave.
Oh, one last thing. Teofimo, and they're talking about his next fight.
They are.
What do you think?
They are. They're also looking at Ryan versus Teo once Ryan has his fight. In like 3 weeks or so, 3-4 weeks.
Well, they're saying Tank Davis, and they just sparred. They threw the sparring tape out. It's out right now. What do you guys think about Teo and Tank?
I don't think it happens.
You don't think it happens?
No,
Tank won't fight nobody.
No. If anything, Tank is gonna end up fighting Pitbull.
Or Tank will fight him, but at 132 pounds or something.
No.
Actually, rehydration clause.
Yeah, no
some
water.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
No water for 60 days.
Yeah, exactly. Some ridiculous. I don't really care about Tank, man.
Hey, brother, one last word. If you like prison gangs, this next Wednesday we have the producer of Gangs, Cops, and Gangsters, Gabe Morales, is going to be on our show, and he's going to be talking about the Mexican Mafia. He's going to name all the members that they've had since the 1960s. It's going to be a great show. If you like prison gangs, this next Tuesday on the Gray Line, the story behind the Blue Line at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's going to be a really good show on the Mafia.
Yeah, you guys go check out that channel, man. Really good stuff over there. That is one Mr. David Contreras, a Gran Chingon. Welcome back, brother.
Thank you, brother.
That is Mike Zavala, the boxing scientist. Catch him on Mikey TV. Cholo Trucker, Los Tres Chingones Boxing. Shout out to all the Chingones in Chingonas. Whatever you guys do this weekend, be safe doing it so we can come back and do it again. Catch you guys on next round.
Next week.